Hi, very nice to be here and to meet with you again. And you and I met through a board network, and I'm really fascinated with you and your experiences. So can you start out just telling us your name and what your role is?
Yeah, my name is Denise Koopmans. I used to have executive roles, and since about 1.5 years I have a portfolio of activities which consist of non-executive roles in several boards. Next to that, I advise companies on growth strategies, digital transformation, and I'm also investing as early stage investor in tech startups. So that is a bit my portfolio right now. Around I concentrate my work activities.
Very exciting, thank you. And can you tell us a bit about what business accomplishments have actually taken you to where you are? How did it start?
Well, I mean, I have a bit of a diverse career, broad and international, but also in terms not only market sectors, but I think also in roles I had in companies. To be quite honest, I started as a lawyer in a law firm. And then I became a chief legal officer at a big construction company. And then I decided that law was not my thing anymore, and I wanted more to diversify my skills. And I became a business development manager in an offshore construction company. And then I thought, okay, that's interesting, and I moved further on, joined a French consultancy firm where I did M&A for 3.5 years. And then I started to restructure companies which had been acquired and not well integrated. Then I was running a management consultancy firm, and then I continued in general management roles. So I was CEO at LexisNexis Business Information Solutions, and I was also general manager lately at Wolters Kluwer of a division for legal professionals, legal information. So I come from very far, very different skills, and I think this broad background in a way, together with the international experience, gives me also the ability now to have a very broad view on businesses and business issues. And I think in general it helped me a lot, also when being an executive role, to get a bit of a broader view on things which were going on, and also in finding solutions, because you can tap it into so many different experiences. And even as a board member nowadays, it helps me too.
Right.
So it's it's a long way, but it was an interesting way.
Yeah. In some of your roles, can you share a bit more with us how you work to actually transform those businesses?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, for the last 20 years I've been CEO in technology companies. I was CEO at LexisNexis Business Information Solutions, a company providing business intelligence solutions. Well, I joined the company in 2007, and at that time data mining, data analytics, media monitoring was all rather new. So our challenge was to operate in an immature and fragmented market. And the aim was, of course, to become market leader of the data analytics solutions. Very difficult. The company was at that stage more or less a bigger startup, and we want to take it to the next level. So the challenge was really, how to scale the business and what is needed for that. And one of the things we focused on, for example, was our portfolio of products. So we had a clear strategy that we wanted to grow the business, and we realized that if we wanted to do that, we had to develop more standardized solutions. Because what you see in a lot of these smaller companies, technology driven, that the solutions are often one-offs. They involve a lot of consultancy, manual intervention. And if you want to grow the business, you have to realize that you have to offer more standardized solutions. So we succeeded in developing a portfolio of standardized and at least mass customized solutions. We looked at our business model as well. It's very crucial to find some kind of subscription-based model whereby you have recurring revenue. So we also found a way to make sure that we developed solutions which were useful for customers, that they found need to have, because we had to migrate them from more nice to have this solution to really I need to have this solution, and therefore also realizing a recurring revenue. The other thing we did is taking it global. So we went outside our home country, France, and we started selling in other countries, which has in itself also a challenge, how to define your proper go-to-market proposition. But all in all, it was a quite successful story, but it took us a while before we found the right way to get to there. And I must say, in the end, you see, you also need luck. We were very much supported by the financial crisis. So we found that customers and companies had a desperate need, so to say, for more and detailed information about the suppliers, about their customers, and at least more information than they could find in their daily newspaper. And that really helped us taking the business to the next level and growing it and becoming the global player which we had in mind. The other experience I have, which is very much related to digital, is at Wolters Kluwer, where I run the division for professional information. At Wolters Kluwer we develop information for medical doctors, lawyers, accountants, tax advisors. And when I joined that company in 2011, it was still very print first. There were the first steps of thinking, migrating maybe print to a digital solution. So when I arrived, the biggest challenge was in fact to make sure that the company would become digital first. So develop a strategy around how this could look like for our business, this digital product portfolio, which meant for us migrating the print to a database and develop digital applications. But we also thought, we should take it to the next level. It's not only about having this database, this online information. It's also helping the customers in realizing their needs. And we were working, for example, for the legal environment, which was getting under a lot of pressure from their own customers, because customers said, the information you provide, we can also find in the meantime on the internet. And they had a real challenge, convincing their customers to pay for their services. So we really thought, how can we help our customers in realizing this added value? So we looked very carefully at their workflow. We analyzed it detail by detail. Where can we come in and support them in their workflow with our information solutions or even our software management solutions? So in the end, we migrated from a company which was initially doing only print products, towards a company providing cloud-based software solutions which supported their workflow. And it helped our customers in positioning them in a different way towards their customers, be more a strategic advisor, because they had already the tools and the documents and standard things they need in order to do that in a more efficient way. So for me that was a very clear example how important customer focus is if you're doing this digital transformation, looking at their needs and trying to help them and come up with solutions which are really useful and add value. And if you look at the digital transformation, what I also learned, it's not just about technology. I mean, the whole company changes. It's not a functional case either. It's not about recruiting an online marketeer or a chief digital officer, what I heard lately. It's really another way of thinking, another way of running your business, looking in a different way how to organize yourself, how to communicate with your customers, and how to position yourself. And it's also important, I think, to take your customers along on that journey, to tell them what you're doing, to be able to reposition yourself afterwards as a different supplier than you used to be. So those are the things I learned and which were very useful. The other important question is always how you organize your innovation. Do you have integrated teams or do you have it in a separate team? I at the time chose to have a separate team because I had the feeling that the people working in the core business couldn't dedicate enough time to only innovation. So I had separate teams still working together, but it was for me the way to be more successful at the time, although you could invent nowadays as well to have more integrated teams and they might migrate towards that. But I think the aspect which is also crucial is to make sure that everybody in your company is on board. So the people working on the more traditional business realize that they are very valuable as well because they are there to pay the innovations. So to avoid that you get some kind of separation between employees. Some people think, oh, I'm on the old business, less interesting. And the other ones are doing the fancy things. No, you need both in order to get where you want to be. And I think that is also very important to realize that you have all your employees federated around a vision for your business where you want to go. Because it is a tough journey, it goes with a lot of security, a lot of failure as well sometimes, a lot of learning. People have to change themselves. So this vision is really crucial to keep on reminding people where you're doing it for and to accompany them in that journey. Yeah.
Thank you.